Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Reza Fahri Ramdhani. I'm from Islamic State University of Sunan Gunung Jati Bandung, and now currently majoring in physics. And today, in this occasion, I would like to present my physics science project about pendulum. Without further ado, let's get into the case. Okay, so my physics science project title is coupled pendulum system with a spring. As we can see here on the right side, so there are two masts hanging from a rope, and then each of them is connected by a spring, so they are bound to each other. So in this system, there are two constants involved. The first one is the length of the left rope, L1 here, and then the second one is the length of the right rope, L2 here. Let's assume that the L1 and the L2 has the same length, so it can be identified as L. And then for the mass also same. Let's assume the M1 and M2 has the same mass, so it can be identified as M. Next, about the degrees of freedom. So in this system, there are two independent coordinates that determine the position of the pendulum. The first one is the angle of the left mass, theta 1, and then the second one is the angle of the right pendulum, theta 2. Okay, next we will find the equation of motion using the Lagrange equation based on kinetic energy and potential energy. Before we find the kinetic and potential energy, first we need to determine the position of the pendulum for each mass. In this case, there are two mass. This one is mass 1, and then this is the mass 2. So we need to determine the position in two coordinates, which are x and y, for both of the mass. And then after we get the position of each mass in two coordinate x-axis and y-axis, we can put the value into the velocity here. So we get the velocity for mass 1 is L1 square theta 1 dot square, and for the mass 2 we get the velocity is equal to L1 square theta 2 dot square. Okay, next, after we have the value for the velocity, we can input the value to find the total kinetic energy, where total kinetic energy is contained for the first pendulum and the second pendulum. So we have the total kinetic energy like this. And for the potential energy is equal to mdy1 plus mdy2 plus half k delta x square, which these stands for spring. And then we can have the potential energy here. Then after we have the kinetic and potential energy, we can put the value into the Lagrangian function, where L is equal to T minus V. So we have this value. And then we can use the small angle approximation using Taylor series, where sine theta is equal to theta, and the cos theta is equal to 1 minus theta square per 2. And then if we are using this approximation, we can have the value for the Lagrangian here. These are the Lagrangian of the coupled pendulum system with a spring under small angle approximation. Okay, after we have the Lagrangian, and then the next step is we need to determine the Euler-Lagrange equation. So in this system, there are two Euler-Lagrange equations, which are this is the first is for the motion of the mass affected by theta 1, and then this is the motion of the mass affected by the angle of theta 2. So first we just need to derive the Lagrangian with respect to the theta 1 to have this value. And then if the Lagrangian we derive with respect to the theta 1 dot, we have this value, and the rest variable is become 0. Next, we can just derive this value with respect to the time. So we have this value ml square theta1 double dot, and then we can just put it back into the first Lagrange equation here. So the value is become ml square theta1 double dot plus mgl theta1 plus kl square times theta2 minus theta1 is equal to 0. So we have this equation of motion. For the theta1, if we divide this value with ml square. Next, we are using the same step to find the second Euler-Lagrange equation to have this equation of motion for the second pendulum. Okay, so now we have obtained the equation of motion. The next challenge is we need to solve the equation of motion to obtain the general solution. Okay, so to find the general solution of the equation of motion, we can use the compact matrix form like this. So we just need to change the previous equation that we have before into the form of matrix like this, and then we can find the general solution here, which the general solution is the real parts of this solution. So the distinct frequency omega 1 and omega 2 here is the eigenvalue of the determinant equation, and then this matrix and this matrix is the eigenvector corresponding to the omega 1 and omega 2. Okay, to solve the general solution, we need to determine the eigenvalue and the eigenvector. So first, we will find the eigenvalue omega here using the determinant equation. We just need to input these variables that we have before. So this is for the k, and then this is for the m, into the determinant equation here. And then we can just simplify them using the determinant rule to have this value. And then from here, we will have two value of omega, which are this is for the omega 1, and then this is for the omega 2. So omega 1 is equal to root of g over L, and then omega 2 is equal to root of g over L plus 2k over L. So this is the eigenvalue of the system. Okay, next step is we will find the eigenvector for the omega 1 and omega 2 using the determinant equation. But now we can input the value of the omega 1 and then times with the matrix X. So we'll have this matrix, and then we can just simplify them to have this, and then we can reduce the matrix R1 plus R2 into the second row. So at the end we'll have x11 minus x21 is equal to 0, and so x11 is equal to x1, and then we will have the eigenvector of the omega 1 here. Using the same step, we will find the eigenvector for the omega 2. And using the determinant equation, we just need to input the value of the omega 2 that we have before. At the end, we'll have that the eigenvector of the omega 2 is this. Okay, finally, after we have the eigenvalue and the eigenvector, so we can solve the general solution, which are these. As we know that exponential power of I times x is equal to cosine x plus sine x. So in this general solution, we just need the real parts of the imaginary component here. So at the end, we'll have the general solution of the equation of motion here. So there are two general solutions of the equation of motion for the theta 1 and the theta 2, where the C1 and C2 is the constant that depends on the initial condition. Okay, that's all I can explain about this project. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.